What I want to teach you today is another way, another strategy to help you come up with a possible thesis for an essay. And basically what it's just called getting ideas for essays through text. So when we talk about text, it's anything that's written. It could be a magazine article, newspaper, clipping, a short story. So basically, the steps that you're going to do to get this, to use this strategy, is you're going to find a text that interests you. It could be a newspaper article, like I just said, short story, magazine. And there are lots of websites that I'm going to give you at the end of this presentation that you can visit to find these articles. You're going to read the article. When you're done reading the article, you're going to free write on the article. Now, when you free write, this is where I find a lot of people struggle. Free writing should not be hard. You're just writing down anything that comes to your mind. It's okay if it doesn't stick with the original topic. You're just writing down anything that crosses your mind. And as you write, you're going to be using a list of prompts that lead you to ideas. It is these prompts that's going to lead you to a possible thesis, so you have to use the prompts. So what I want you to do now is I have a list of the prompts. I want you to write these prompts down. This makes me realize. This makes me think. This is important because. This is giving me the idea that. This connects with. On the other hand, I partly disagree, but because. This is similar to. This is different from. This might not be true, but it could be that. I used to think blank, but now I realize what I think this says about me is that. Many people think, but I think, for example, and additionally. You don't have to use every single prompt in your free writing, just ones that you feel kind of flow with your writing. So let me show you how I did this. So what I did is I went to an article that interests me. So I happened to visit the AsburyParkPress.com. All right. And basically I just went to the home page and I was perusing around and I found this one about this abused dog. And I'm not going to read the article for you for sake of time, but I already read the article, so a little summary of it basically is there was this man who had claimed to found a near-death dog in a plastic bag on the side of the road. According to this man, when he was driving in his car, this plastic bag started walking across the street, so him and his wife pulled over. They found this dog that had been severely abused. Feces was covering the dog. So they took the dog to the police station and reported it. Well, it ends up that the people who reported this incident were actually the ones guilty of committing this crime. So I read the article, and it definitely brought a lot of emotions with me. So what I did, and I already did my free writing. All right, so if you want to look here. So when I wrote this, and I actually probably would have wrote a lot longer, but I don't want this video to be so long, so I had the prompts next to me. And as I was writing, I always kept referring to the prompts. So what I wrote was, reading this article really disgusts me. How can anyone do this to a harmless, innocent animal? To just leave in a trash bag on the street demonstrates what monsters these people are. This gives me the idea that there is absolutely no reason people should mistreat animals. So I'm going to underline this. For example, these animals, so here's another prompt that I use. For example, these animals who get mistreated have absolutely no harm to others, so why should people do harm to them? This connects with, I'm underlining this because it's another prompt that leads to a possible thesis. This connects with people who use animals in fighting rings for money, such as that football player. What was his name? Michael Vick. What is the point of that? It was pure pleasure. However, I do not see what pleasure people get out of watching two dogs rip each other into shreds. This is important because, so this is another prompt, because innocent animals are being hurt. But this is different from the whole pit bull issue. Here's another prompt I use. Oftentimes, pit bulls are in the news for hurting innocent people. Because of this, they get put to sleep. I have no problem with that. This makes me think that pit bulls are dangerous animals. So when I look at all these things, the whole purpose of doing this is to come up with a possible thesis for an essay. So when I look at it, I actually think I have two ideas. well, this one I wouldn't want to use. There's absolutely no reason people should mistreat animals. The reason why I wouldn't want to use that for a personal essay is because this is a persuasive topic. Remember, we don't want to tell anybody what to do or think, right? So I can't use that. So I'm thinking, how about if I could use pit bulls are dangerous animals? And I could do some research and come up with possible stories that have happened. So because of my free writing, I was able to get one possible thesis. All right. So what you're going to do is these are all websites that have good places to get nonfiction articles. The Asbury Park Press, this is a science, this is Time for Kids, this is just current events, another science, National Geographic, and another current events. So what I want you to do now is I want you to find 2 articles that interest you, and then I want you to copy and paste the link of it on your notes page from your Google Doc that we created, and then I want you to read the articles. And then tomorrow in class, you're going to do some free writing on the articles using the prompts. All right? So that's it. So anytime that you need to come up with an idea for a possible thesis, you can read or reread text and then use prompts that are going to lead you to think deeply about the topic, and you can possibly come up with a thesis that you could actually write about. All right, and that's it.